We are recording right now, and I'm going to turn this intro over to Jessica Huron. Thank you very much. She's going to introduce our trainer for the day. Jessica? Oops. Oh, hold on, Jessica. Wait. Jessica was muted. So let's start all over. Jessica, there you go.
Thank you. Good morning, everybody. I'm Jessica Huron, and I was super thrilled to be asked to introduce our trainer today, Tina Gonzalez. But I'm a teacher, so I like to do things slightly differently. So instead of doing the same old, I want to play a little game with you instead this morning. So we're going to play a game. We're going to play a word association game today. So your job is, I'm going to give you a list of words or phrases this morning, and you have to determine what is the relationship between those words and phrases and Tina Gonzalez. So here are the words and phrases. Nervous, scared, uncomfortable, doesn't want to fail you. Okay, so I'm not going to actually let you answer. I'm going to move on. I do that to my students sometimes. Time constraints. But here's the relationship. I was sitting there when I heard these, when Tina shared these words with me. I was sitting there going, what? Really? No, come on. No, that doesn't describe Tina Gonzalez. But then I remembered something that Tina shared with me in our first Getting Started Right call, where she said that she always speaks her truth. And so then I had to believe her, because not only did she share that with me the first time that I spoke with her, but she shows me that in so many other ways. Tina always speaks her truth. So when she says that she's feeling nervous, scared, uncomfortable, and doesn't want to fail you, I believe her because she speaks her truth and she acts out that truth. So then when she went on to tell me that she doesn't want to look like a weenie in front of all of you, I had to believe her. So when she told me also that she's never put together a PowerPoint, much less present it in a Zoom call to a bunch of people that she really respects and doesn't want to fail, I believed her. And this is the great thing about Tina Gonzalez, okay? She is willing to admit that she's scared, but then she goes to work anyway. So what did she do? She woke up at 3:30 this morning to work through her fears. So now she's here, and she's either going to fail in front of us and then learn, or she's going to win, because I found that no matter what, Tina Gonzalez, all she does is win. So that's why I'm here with my notebook, ready to take notes this morning, because when Tina goes out in front of all of us, because that's who she is and that's what leaders do, I know who I need to follow, and so that's what I'm ready, Tina. I'm ready to follow you, baby.
You are absolutely epic, lady. I love you so much. Thank you for that, and thank you for just shaking it up and leading with my truth. And I'm just so appreciative of that, and every word that she said is so true. And there's one person that can validate that because he has to live with me. Go ahead, raise your hand, honey. He knows that I was so nervous this morning because I really do, want to serve you guys, and I want to make sure I don't fail you. And technology is not my friend, so it actually is my friend. I have to embrace it and make it my friend, but it's not my comfortable friend. You have a comfortable friend, and then your friends that you're not as comfortable around, just to chill. That's where I feel with technology. But I think it's important always to, this is a trick, lead with your fear. Because now, if you ever are having a conversation with someone and you're scared about going into it, or you're going to do a live presentation, maybe you're standing in front of a room speaking and you're not uncomfortable, have you ever led with your fear? Because that immediately puts others in a position to want to embrace you and pull you in and support you. And if you've ever heard someone get in front of the room and you can see them shaking, and like I would be in front of any room, or the microphone shaking, have you ever just warmed up to them and wanted to smile and nod for them and be encouraging? That's how I am when I hear someone lead with their fear. So if you ever fear something, lead with that. So what she said is 100% true. I have never created a PowerPoint. I've been so uncomfortable this past year and the past 2 years. I'm going to read a quote from Instagram that I put up this morning on my account, which, by the way, was one more uncomfortable thing that I did. I freaking hate Instagram. It makes me want to poke my eyeballs out, but I'm using it. And if you go scroll through it, and I'm using it because other top leaders are using Instagram. But if you scroll through my account, you'll see that I'm creating my presence there through my discomfort. And today I said, I am uncomfortable. And my quote there then, that was my picture. My quote then was, the greatest opportunities will come at a risk. You will have to get uncomfortable with being, you'll have to get comfortable with being uncomfortable. So that's what I am today. Guys, let's get this party started. I'm hoping that I can do my little screen share here. Oh my God.
I'll make sure you got it right.
See, he's so sweet. He's down in the basement. He's going to come up and make sure I got it. But I think I got this shit, so let's do it. Desktop, PowerPoint. Oh, wait. Maybe I don't.
Great.
I'm doing it through the fear. I have PowerPoint down at the bottom of my screen. I clicked screen share. I did that, right?
Share screen.
Oh, I forgot the other share screen. Yay!
Now you gotta go on your PowerPoint.
Oh my God, I'm the biggest doofus ever.
And then when you stop, you just hit that.
Thanks, baby. All right, you guys. See? Nervous, hand shaking, I'm sweating, but moving through the fear. All right, so this is a subject, at least, that I'm very comfortable with because I love people. I love connecting with people. And here's where my being 51 comes in handy right now to share with you guys how blessed you are to have social media as a venue to connect with your audience on the daily for free. All of these social media sites are places for you to connect daily for free. And what I mean by my benefit of being 51 is I initially launched my home-based business in '96, and that was back in the day of Yellow Page advertising. Can I tell you how much I paid every stinking month for Yellow Page advertising, where people had to physically go get a book, go to the resume section, flip through hundreds of resume writers to find my article, but yet I paid so much money every month for that way to connect with other people. And here today we have this free venue to take advantage of. So we're going to talk about that as social media, even as free, even without paying for advertising. Social media is our foundation for growing, thriving businesses today. So first thing I'd love to talk about is you, branding you. You guys, I put a little pre-exercise in our Goal Diggers page. I asked you all if you would go. I just went through and I provided links, so it would be super easy for you to click and go to some sites of top performing coaches. And I asked if you would just do a quick scan and share in the comments below those links what your immediate takeaways are, as in the first 30 seconds or the first 60 seconds, because that 30 seconds represents our first impression to people. And that first impression, once made, we can't recover. You know, you can't get back that first opportunity to make a positive, poised, professional, just completely polished presentation to somebody. You are instantly sharing whether or not you are an amateur or a pro. And if our ultimate goal is to attract people who we are going to run thriving businesses with, that's why you're all here, right? We want to help people on the front end with their health and fitness. And then in the end, we want those people to be people who we would like to run businesses with, hopefully, right? So who do you want to run businesses with, an amateur or a professional? Your brand, increased brand visibility, making you familiar, recognizable, and easily accessible. Again, with that word free, we have this free opportunity to do this on social media. Whatever your venue is. I personally am an advocate of mastering one while dabbling in the other, but mastering one form of social media while creating a presence sideline in the other, and then moving on to do that. And I was just reminded in our social media training with Jesse Regan yesterday that Alexis Whalen, who is an absolute freaking all-star in Beachbody, a young woman, if you're not following her, do that. But she just, she shared on that she had been a coach for a while, and she was just now moving over to Instagram because she felt she had, mastered and gotten comfortable enough with growing from Facebook. So she's hesitantly, like me, knowing that she needs to, but going over to Instagram. She actually, I don't even know if I'm sold on it yet, but other top coaches are sold on it. So she was getting uncomfortable herself, but she wanted to focus on one and really getting, digging in there and mastering that and becoming a professional and then moving on. Improving brand you, loyalty. When I say brand, that is you. What I wanted to share is that you personally as a human are your brand, not Beachbody, not Shakeology, not P90X. I do have my P90X shirt on. And on the back, by the way, it says Brazil Butt Lift. So I have my wear and share on today to spark up conversations. But I am not P90X. I am not Beachbody. I am me. And I am the difference between me and 400,000 other coaches who could be vying for someone's attention. It's me that's going to be the link, the connector between that person's needs and Beachbody products that can complete those needs. I want to share with you guys some very foundational tips that are going to make a huge difference in your business. I know there are new people. Jesse was good to remind us yesterday that there are brand new people on this call. Here are my foundational tips for social media. They're so basic, so important, but if you look at those sites that I gave you yesterday, you'll see these things that Kim McBride shared, and Jessica Haron shared her thoughts too there underneath, but they went and they saw these things. Kim McBride says, it looks like they are very well-rounded, right? It looks like they are balanced. It looks like they have themes that they work with. And Kim pointed out that it looks like she saw a consistent theme of rotation between family, fitness, transformations, fashion, faith, food. She connected the dots that there was a theme and that there was some kind of color theme or branding that seemed to be attached to each of these people. She noticed that Christina Delgado had a particular emphasis on food. So if you go to those top coaches' walls, I want to start with super basic and say, what do you recognize about their pictures, their profile pictures, their cover banner pictures? And at the top of the page, do you notice that they have a video that seems to be pinned there at the top of their page? So that at a glance, as new people come to your wall, in 30 seconds, what does your what does your wall, your timeline, or your like page, either way, or actually both if you have both, what does, in an instant glance, what do people learn about you? Do they see a smiling face? I will tell you, here's a hot tip for me. You know, I talk about when, as I've grown my like page, it's grown to like 16,000 people now. And when people like my page or like a post, I'll scan through, let's say there are 20 people that liked a post. I'm going to scan through those 20 people, and I am profiling to look for people who look like they would be someone I would resonate with. And what I mean by that, the very first thing that I look for is a smile. And if someone's not smiling in their profile picture, I move right along, because I am a happy, vibrant, positive person. And the first thing that tells me if someone else is that too is what picture they choose to put up on social media. So a smiling face is a good business owner. If you were crossing someone on a street corner who was peddling apples, would you want to go up and buy something from someone who was frowny face and looked like they were in pain and miserable? Would that be attractive to you, to want to chunk into one of those apples, take a big bite of that apple from Mr. Frowny Face? No. So a picture of you. And those little tips there, as I've noticed, sometimes people will put
Hold on. Yeah, somebody that needs to be muted.
Okay.
All right, got him.
Just as a tip, I've noticed sometimes folks will put pictures of, you know, if it's a girl, there'll be a girl with their girlfriends, their girls in the picture with them. Well, if a new person comes to your social media and they say that picture, they're not knowing instantly which one you are. I see that all the time when I'm trying to profile people. I'm like, well, which one is this? The daughter, the mom? Who is that? Who am I trying to attract? Who am I looking at here? So make sure it's you in your picture. And it's a smiling face. And if you're looking at an investment, you know, if you don't already have professional photos, I encourage you to put that on your list of something to invest in your business. It will make all the difference. And Joe and I know it's really inexpensive to do that. You could go for it through a whole photo shoot and stuff like that, which is super awesome. But you can also do something like going to JCPenney's. Joe and I did that when we were down in Florida. We just needed to get some quick photos, and I was like, I couldn't believe how much time she spent doing those photos. And like for both of us doing separate photos and together photos, it was like $100, you know.
It wasn't even that much. I mean, it was like $80, and
yeah,
we got like 60 photos out of it.
And that will totally make all the difference in the world. Of course, you know, if you can go to the extent and ask your spouse or partner or family for a present, you know, if you're getting presents and they ask you what you want for the holidays, maybe put that on the list, a gift certificate for a photo shoot or a makeup artist for your photo shoot or whatever. It's a huge investment, you know, it's a huge return on that investment if you're able to do that. And if not, just start putting some money aside each week so that you can act on that. And same thing with your cover photo. Wow, when you go to those top coaches' walls, their timelines, check out Christina Delgado's. How much do you learn in that instant visual on her like page cover photo with her in her kitchen, with her children, with her spouse, with her 21-day fix shirt on? She, of course, features that because she was in 21-day fix. I mean, that one picture says everything. Smiling, happy, fun, family, fitness. It's just in one quick glance, you know who that is, and you want to know more. So that's what I encourage you to do. So that, of course, was a professional photo, but you guys, there are, if you're looking for information, maybe Joe or someone will type the website for you to go to have some professional photos or cover banners done very inexpensively, like $20. You can get a professional one done up and they'll do some drafts for you. Fever is one of the places that comes to mind. But taking a look at those pictures that are going to give an instant story. Also, when you'll see people on our team are great at doing this. I think Lisa Burdick, for example, if you click on Lisa and Lindsay, and I know so many of you guys, but if you click on their profile photos or their cover banner photos, it tells a story. They tell their story right there. And on the cover photos, it says, click here to learn more. And then they click and they tell their story. So if anyone's curious, they can immediately learn a little bit. And then I noticed that Melanie Mitro and of course Lindsay Matway have a video that's at the top that tells their story or tells something about them. So this is a free opportunity to speak to brand new people. Here's next tip. I want to, did I mention this was free? free. Your smiling face, a professional photo or banner, your title, the title that you choose to put there. I know, as a matter of pride, professionals want to have their work title. I am a teacher, or I am an attorney with XYZ, or I am a professional, finance executive, or what have you. I encourage you to consider, if you are using social media to grow your entrepreneurial business, I encourage you to think about, is that an ego thing that you have, your professional title there first versus your entrepreneurial title? Is your profession paying you to be on social media? If I was an attorney, I would of course want to have that as part of my street cred, but I wouldn't lead with that on social media if I was trying to grow my fitness business, right? So your title can be determined by you. I like to keep it, brief. I change my title, but my title always is next to a link that takes them directly to my like page. So I could have personal people come to my personal page, but right next to title, it could be CEO, it could be boss babe, it could be boss lady. I've even used the title of helping women win at, and then my little link that takes them directly, easily to my like page, Tina Gonzalez. So helping women win at Tina Gonzalez. I don't even know what my title is right now. I change it every now and then, just as attention getter. But I want to have my title indicative of my entrepreneurial business, because that's what I'm using social media for. If I was an attorney, I'm pretty sure I wouldn't be using social media to, pimp out my attorney thing to my friends. There's probably a more professional venue for that, like LinkedIn or what have you. And then that link to your like page. And remember, your brand is you. One key tip that I can really give you guys is make sure that you're not mentioning Beachbody or Shakeology in your title, because you are accidentally taking people to the general Beachbody site versus you. And people may think, because since you are accidentally providing a link to Beachbody, people may think that they're buying from you because they click from your page, but they're not. They're going to the general Beachbody site if you've put Beachbody anywhere in that thing. So you're not Beachbody. Make sure you're only taking people to you. Here's the neat thing. So Kim McBride mentioned that she noticed a theme, a well-rounded theme with all of these top coaches. So I'm going to ask you guys to do this. Build an authentic brand around attracting people who are like you. People who you would love to hang out with, have fun with, go places with. When we win these trips to go on cruises, who do you want sitting next to you celebrating and having a toast for all the hard work that you've done? You want it to be people who you like. In this business, we get to pick who our business partners are. So for me, people who are like me, on my like page, I'm looking to attract women, because I talk about a lot of girly stuff, and I just don't want to, women, it's women. I'm a wife, I am a mom, I am a glamma, I'm a girly girl, I like to have fun, so that needs to come out in some of my posts. Fitness, being very positive, boss babe tips, and Skinny Girl Cocktails is my way of saying, and I'm keeping it real with Skinny Girl Cocktails, because I don't want people to think I'm trying to, people have said, do you guys, to me and Joe, do you guys ever drink? And we were like, what? So Skinny Girl Cocktails is just a fun, way for me to market that. So I am attracting people who are like me, because that's who I'm going to resonate with as a business partner. If I'm attracting the opposite of that, then I need to look at what I am sharing on social media. If I'm attracting, if I'm talking about drama or chaos or unhappiness or sad things, I'm going to attract more people like that. And I don't want that in my life. In fact, thank God for, the block delete button, because I don't want that in my life. I want to attract people who are like me, that I would love to work with and love to go on these trips with when we're on vacation. Lindsay Cheatham mentioned yesterday that she had attracted her avatar coach. And your avatar coach is someone who is just like you. So she rattled off a laundry list of things about this girl that she was in love with, like that I think she was someone of faith, and she was married, and she had a child, and she was a bikini competitor, a nurse. Like, there was everything. It was like the twinsy of Lindsay. So of course Lindsay's gonna love her, right? So that's what we want to do. So make sure, write out your 5 categories, and then consider going through those categories in your posts. So when we sign up as Beachbody coaches, independent team Beachbody coaches, we're not instantly 100% Beachbody, and we should never be 100% Beachbody, because Beachbody is just a small part of our life, and that should be reflected in our posts. So I post regularly about my hubby and my love for him, my children, my grandchildren, fun stuff, silly stuff, and then of course the serious stuff and the fitness and the boss babe tips. So I want people to know, in addition to fitness, that I want to be seen as a resource if someone wanted to open a business. So I want to sneak in those posts too. Like, I used Instagram in that way to do 15-second tips, 15-second boss babe tips. So I would post those 15-second tips on Instagram. That was when they limited us to that amount of time, but I think that's a great amount of time to do a tip. And I would create a boss babe tip around that post, and then share that on my like page too. Honestly, it doesn't get those posts don't get a lot of hits, but I know people are paying attention to them because I entertain people elsewhere. So they have to see those. Which brings me to another point. Please be more concerned about being interested in others versus just being interesting. So being interested in others, even Gary Vee talks about this in his training. He said at some point along the way that he responds, he acknowledges every single like on his page. So at some point, when I do a post, I try to be present there for the next 5 or 10 minutes to make sure I can follow up and like and comment on somebody. But even if I then leave social media, because I'm really just dropping a bomb there and then moving on to do other work, I'm going to come back and I'm going to make sure I like and comment on each post in some way, because it's just a show of consideration and appreciation for someone bothering to come to your page. And when you show interest in someone that comments on your page, that is appreciated, it's received, and they're like, oh, someone's paying attention to me, I'm going to come back to this page. People get ignored all the time on social media, and I see that even on teammates. I'll go to pages to try to do a like comment to them, and I'm like, wow, there's a lot of people just left hanging out here without a response, and that coach would be really best served by going in and acknowledging people who showed up for them. Know your story. Jesse's touched on this, Victor's touched on this. So many of you have talked about knowing your story and telling it, figuring out many ways to tell your whole story, your pain, your struggle, not just the good stuff. People resonate. Ooh, gosh, here's a great way for me to tell you how much people love drama. I am so not a drama person, and I so don't like to talk about pain or struggle, but I know it's important to do that. I did a silly video. It was really a couple of years ago, and I modeled it after, I totally was like a copy of something that all-star Jimmy Hayes Nelson did, and he titled his Don't Be a Beachbody Coach. I think that's who I copied. Don't Be a Beachbody Coach. So I titled this YouTube video that, and this is so interesting to me that people come and they were attracted to it because of that title. And others were attracted to it because they were coming to fight me on it and stand up for Beachbody. But Josh Kekak was so nice to point out to me that in this past week, I suck at YouTube, so I don't even go back there to see if the comments underneath it, but someone had commented underneath that video saying, I want to sign up as a coach. So how do I do that? And Josh was kind enough to put that in front of me. And then I realized I went through and read all these comments, which I had ignored, not even known were there. Like it had 8,000 hits or something on that video, but people were pissed watching that video who wanted to come there and read something dramatic. They really thought it was going to be about hating on Beachbody. And I had a couple of people say, I watched it twice and it was a complete waste of my time. That, you know, that doesn't even make sense. You're saying you're to hate Beachbody, but you're actually talking about all the benefits. These people had no sense of humor whatsoever. But they came looking for something dramatic, which I just think that's very intriguing. So I use that in some of my posts. Like, I don't start the mornings off crying, but I started off my post yesterday bragging about Lindsay Cheatham, saying, you know, oh man, I started off my day crying because I know people love to see happy people cry. But I talked, obviously, actually, I was tearing up yesterday seeing how, watching Lindsay lead that call. All right, so know your story, tell it in many ways, tell it from different angles. Jesse's doing a great job of this. He's talking about his family, his previous struggle with weight, he's tying in his surgical career, he's tying in his former dancing career. So he's just got all kinds of things going. So know your story, figure out how to tell it, and use this theme if it helps you. Before Beachbody, or I just did a post, I said before including Shakeology in my nutrition program, I was this. And then during my journey, I found, and then since including it, this is what happened. And I've never been more excited about my future. That's a little theme for you to use when you're crafting your story. Then, equally as important, people aren't gonna wanna hear your story day after day after day, and I really encourage this all the time. I'm always promoting, whose story are you telling this week, so that your friends know that this Beachbody dealio is beyond just you. So if people thought Beachbody was just me, they would be not, you know, I'm not going to speak to everyone through just my story, but I get to speak my, you know, to share stories of our teammates, speaking life into others by sharing stories like Jessica's that I shared recently. I've shared Lindsay McGuire's story recently. I've shared Lindsay Cheatham's story recently. I shared Tracy, I'm not even going to say your last name, Tracy, because I know I'm going to butcher it again. I'm going to have to hear you say it so I say it right. Camo. I shared her story recently. So I am a huge advocate of telling other people's stories, speaking to different things, the physical transformations, the business transformations, so that my audience knows that Beachbody is so far beyond me. We're giving them a little glimpse into what we have to offer. So telling stories of yourself and then learning stories of others so you can feature them and drip, 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 drip. Imagine 5 years later into my journey, the number of stories that I've dripped over the years. Every week, I don't miss an opportunity. Every week, at least once a week, I'm telling the story of somebody else, so that I can speak life into somebody else so they know they can do it. When I shared Jessica's story about crying, you know, that she, only because she shared it, crying in her car, you know, that's real. That's legit. So tell those stories and let people know that we are here to change the world. You are here to change the world, and we are not alone. You guys, that wraps up my presentation today on the basics 101 of social media. It's so simple, the smiling face, and there's plenty of advanced training, but if you don't have these foundations nailed where you're attracting people in that first 30 seconds, that first 60 seconds, and then dripping stories consistently around your own personal brand to attract your audience, your avatar client, it's no mistake that Lindsay Cheatham attracted that avatar client, because she has consistently built a brand around who she is, right? So I'm going to open it up. Any questions, comments?
Great job, honey. Of course, amazing info. This is the crux of what we do on social media. It's so important to get these very, very basics down and be that, you know, positive light. I mean, you see Tina smiling every day and smiling and confident and people wanting to be near her and not the drama and stuff like that. I mean, she's there to solve problems for people and showing her brand what problem she is solving for them by showing success stories and those kind of things. So great job, honey. I appreciate it. Questions? And by the way, she got over some huge fears this morning. You guys have no idea, like she really does dislike technology. And so what she's done with Teamsy in the past 2 weeks and just doing this PowerPoint presentation, I mean, these things are huge movements for her personally, and I watch her continuously take on new stuff and get out of her comfort zone, because this is how she grows, and that's why she appears so confident. But again, 5 years ago, you didn't know her when she was just getting out of the telephone book, like she said, the yellow pages, and waiting for phone calls to come in and not going to get people. You guys have no idea how much every day she studied, took action, studied, took action. Personal development, put into action. That's one thing. The one thing that Tina does that better than anybody else is she does the personal development every day, and then she puts it into action right away, no matter what. I can actually read something myself and go ask her, you know, run it by her, and before I have it out of my mouth, she's already sent it an idea to people, and she's like, okay, they're already answered, what next? I'm like, I didn't even get that far. I don't even know what's next. But the moral behind that is she doesn't worry about a mistake or a fear. She knows she'll live through it and she'll grow through it. So, you know, there's so many takeaways in this presentation, and putting yourself out there and being confident is definitely one of them. So great job.
Yeah, here is one little bonus tip if anyone is looking to, you know, grow a like page. I know some of you are there and some not, but I've shared this before and it's been so huge for me. I picked up, like, this wasn't said directly, we weren't taught this in training, but I picked up something that Alexis Whalen said during our Jesse Reagan training, and I picked up on her saying, oh yeah, if I go to someone else's like page, even if I see a post that I like, but no one else has liked it, I just go away because I just think I don't want to be the first person to like it. I picked up on that, and because of that, I was like, yeah, you know, I kind of can relate to that. When I go to a blank page, I think, man, this person must be lame or something. So here's what I did, and I encourage you all to consider doing this with people who you trust. I gathered up a team, and the people I chose were just the people that happened to run with the Jesse Reagan training with me right away. So I I got this little posse of 5 people, and we made a pact together to go to one another's page once or twice a day and just run over there with intent and just go like and comment on whatever they've posted. And it's literally, I set my timer a couple times a day, and I do that with those 5 people, and then I go off in random shoots and just support some random people. But I can't do that with 1,700 people. So the people who I end up supporting are usually the people that come to my mind. And if you come to my mind, it's because you're showing up all the time. So I know I try to shoot over to Mike and Jesse's and Victor's page. Like, if you're showing up, I try to scoot on over there and support you randomly. But these 5 people, we made this pact that we were going to show up every day. And what that has done is it's created a foundation so that it creates a little synergy. And we keep on doing that with one another, and it's going to take a while. You can't just do this for a day or 2 days or a week or even a month. We've been doing this since we started the training, supporting one another, and every now and then I'll, include someone else in the circle, and I'll be like, okay, you scoot out and create your own posse and expand the circle of influence. But we do that supporting the like and comments, and then that way when others come to our world, they see that there's some activity, and activity creates this synergy and other people want to be part of it. So I started getting more people to comment because they see stuff there. So it's working for us. So I encourage you, if you want to use that little tip, try it, create your little posse of people. Here's one thing that I'll let you know. You'll want to trust these people, because Laura Starkweather is one of the people that comes, that I do this with, and she's so awesome. I just love her to pieces. And she's had some of her friends follow her because they can see that she likes and comments. So I am someone that Laura can trust, and this person somehow wanted to join a group or something or another, and I immediately went over, because I could tell that there was that was the common thread, that she had a mutual friend. I went to Laura and I said, hey Laura, how do you want me to handle this? Do you want me to go ahead and inform her or whatever, or do you want me to just give you that tip and you reach out to her and whatever? And we made an agreement between the 2 of us how to handle that. And I know this also from personal experience, that my people follow me to wherever I go, because I have a sweet cousin who just follows me wherever I go, and I see her showing up on the most random places that I've been. I'm like, what is my cousin doing over here? But my cousin is actually a customer who I gave to one of my coaches, because actually it's Heather DeSantis, because she is Heather's godmother. So I transferred her from my account over to Heather. But I see her following me in all these places. So I want you to know that your friends can see where you're liking and commenting. So make sure your posse is someone that you trust, that if I saw that Victor had been commenting on my wall, so one of his friends saw that and followed me over, if I saw that mutual friend, I have the integrity that I'm going to say, hey, V, XYZ. So make sure they're just people that you trust. And also you can then translate what I just shared with you into why you might consider not going and liking Lindsay Matway's posts. I mean, I'm not trying to be a hater on Lindsay Matway, but I'm trying to tell you that when you do that, she has very sophisticated systems that swoop people up into her world. A smart businesswoman, that's what she does. She'll offer something free, and people can sign up for her free stuff, and then they start getting emails from her, and they start seeing her awesome story. So that, translate that into the people that you follow and like and comment. You're leading your people to them potentially. So, right?
Tina, I'm glad you brought that up about the going and posting on each other's pages, because we just started that in our team. We have a team thread message stream.
Perfect.
I'm like, when you guys post something like your story or a call to action with your challenge group or something about the coach opportunity and nobody's commenting, go in there and say posted. So we're doing this lately. We posted, and then everybody will go and comment. And then if if somebody needs a bump up in the news feed, we'll say, hey, can somebody comment? And then you guys can strategically time it to comment back, 8 o'clock, 7:30 in the morning, whatever, 8 o'clock at night. So we've been doing that a lot, and it's been really fun to go and support each other on our team.
Totally. And I will tell you, I told you how in love I am with Laura Starkweather. She's so sweet. And because I did this, she's one that we did this with, I've learned so much about her and I couldn't love her anymore. So you get to know more about people when you're doing that active supporting. So thanks, Laura, for being one of my partners. And the same with Jessica. By the way, that's why I end up sharing some of these things in headquarters, because I'm over on, and Angela Marvin is another one, and she's a coach of a coach of a coach, and she's relatively new, but she posts all these really cool things that I probably would have not, I know I wouldn't have seen if I wasn't doing this little thing with her. She's the one that I shared in headquarters. She did a little chalk workout with her kids outside the door. So, you'll create neat bonds with these people and trusting bonds with the folks that you decide to do this with. So.
Yeah. And also, guys, especially if you do like paid ads, like if you're doing like a call out paid ads, thanks for bringing this up, ladies, by the way. So go help out the coach. If you guys are doing paid ads, go put that into in there, just like they're talking about. Get somebody to come, like it, or put, if you're asking people to say I'm in, it doesn't hurt. You guys can put I'm in there. That way it'll put some convo on there. Look like people are actually interested, and that'll help people out, especially if they're paying for it. That'll kind of help as a team. So I thought that was cool.
Yeah, and Tina said 5 people. I mean, again, it's impossible to follow every coach. Everybody has limited time, right? So pick out your posse of people you want to help out and create that engagement. I mean, it's just impossible to follow every coach, but help some teammates out and do that. Your team, definitely a great tip.
I was going through to try and see who was posting about the challenge group, and I remember Margot had her post going, so I'm like, okay, let me go to her page and see how she's doing with her post, if she did a last shout out post or whatever. So I went to her page and I saw her awesome picture. I think she shared it from her page maybe, and you didn't have any comments on there. Girl, get your posse together and be like, hey, I posted, can somebody give me a comment? So I went in there and I commented on it. But then for you, you can be strategic, like I said, and bump it back up, like maybe, at the peak time. So, but yeah, I totally agree with that. I think that's great.
One of my actual jobs as a husband is I'm not kidding. If you need to let your spouse, best friend know, my job in my job description is go like and comment on every one of my posts. All right, I got to do that because on our personal page we're going to get more feedback. But if you and remember, if you don't have a following on your personal page, I wouldn't try to put a like page together. By the way, it's just too early. You got to learn how to do things on your personal page and get a few thousand people. You can do all this stuff on your personal page too without being salesy. But when you get a like page, it's even more important to have that posse, because it's just so hard for Facebook to put this in front of people. They want people paying, and they're not going to have people that aren't influential in front of people. So you can create that engagement pretty easily, but always be positive of other Beachbody coaches and stuff like that.
But just don't like the other top coaches' pages, like Tina said, or their posts.
Yeah. They don't need it. Believe me, Lindsay Matways and Chris Ballmers, I love them, but I mean, if you're a 10-star, 15-star, making $500,000 $1 million a year, they have thousands of people following them. They don't need you. You need to create followers, and they also, quite honestly, they probably don't want to see all your interaction from people who aren't on their team, to be honest with you. And because sometimes rookie coaches end up saying things like, why did you say that on my page? And so we just have to be like supporting each other, know who's on your team, and know who you can support and help each other out for a benefit and teach each other. And know that way that people aren't going to go after your friends. I mean, there's a very, very internet savvy people that are big time coaches, and believe me, as soon as you like their page and as soon as you follow them, they're advertising and they're spending $5,000 a month putting their ads in front of your friends. And they will, because they look more successful, they will go follow them, enter into their challenge funnel, enter into their email list and their email funnel, and be solicited all along the way. And you'll be like, what's going on? Why are my friends joining somebody else? That's what happens. So, you know, follow a couple of people, know who it is, and watch what they do, but that doesn't mean interact with them. And so great stuff. The other quick social media tip, and I know it seems weird because, you know, Tina does so much more than this. You know, Tina's strength is her presence, right? That's her joy, her presence. I'm the guy behind the scenes that's watching webinars, doing things, and kind of, you know, showing her a little bit more what to do, and she's more comfortable with that than me. Then I'm literally, I study this stuff. You guys don't believe how many webinars and how many things I study, but I use myself as an extension of Tina, just so you know. And because that's not me, like, it's not my strength to put myself out on videos and put myself out on selfies. That's not me. You're not going to see that, okay? So follow, you know, Tina, but you know, I hate to say this. I mean, I have the knowledge in my head, and I'm working my own thing now with the financial coaching for a purpose, just so you know. And that'll be more towards me, because I think y'all know I'm probably looked at more as a businessman than a, you know, fitness and nutrition guy, right? So I'm putting that more as my voice, but, you know, keeping in mind things like some very simple tips I wrote down. Who is your audience? So Tina talked about brand. Write down your brand. Who are you? How are you different from others? You know, what is the problem that Beachbody solved for you, right? So who is, then translate that into who is your niche market? What problem are you solving for them? And use stories and how to post and all that kind of stuff to solve your audience's problem. People buy based on need. And when you are providing a service that solves a problem for them, so think of it in terms of, what does our fitness solve? What does our nutrition solve? What does our finances solve? It's not. Here's a big tip that I love. Okay, when people are, I'm going to ask somebody a question. When people are buying a drill, what is it that they actually want? Somebody shout out the answer.
Oh.
That's who gets it. They don't want the drill. They don't want the drill. When you go to buy a drill, you don't want the drill. You're buying the drill because you want to have a hole in the wall or wherever to provide something, to hang up a picture, to, you know, build something. So you want to sell them the hole, not the drill. It's the benefits. It's not do this sweaty ass workout every day, because people are like, I don't want to do a sweaty ass workout, so all these sweaty ass pictures makes it look like work. I want to see results. Why am I willing to put in the work? Why am I willing to do home workouts? It's the time savings. It's the convenience. It's all these things. You know, it's not money.
Please don't do.
It's not money that we want. It's the freedom that we want. It's the less stress that we want. It's the things that we can provide for our family. I paid for our vacation in cash. I paid for my daughter's cheerleading. I paid for, it's not money. It's sell the hole, not the drill. Okay? I hope that makes sense for everybody. Solve people's problems and use these tips for branding and everything else. And that's how you know, as Tina said, become interested in them as you're solving their problems. And I see so much of the you know, join this, do that, and there's so much of that. That's great. But why do they want to join it? I wanted to accomplish this. I decided to join a group, and I got these results, and now I'm paying it forward because I feel so much better, and, you know, my clothes fit better, I'm off my medication, blah, 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 right? That's why. You didn't just join, you joined for a reason. So, I don't, you know, huge stuff. Tina is amazing. She's always bragging on other people and success stories, sharing those stories. Speak your truth.
Hey, Joe, can I ask a question real quick?
Yeah.
So one of the things that I really want to focus on when I'm done with school here is really clarifying my brand, because whenever I go to a bunch of people's pages in this group, it seems to shout out to me what their brand is, but I'm having trouble clarifying. Now, Tina mentioned those 5 categories.
Yeah.
But do you guys have any further recommendations on how to really whittle down what is your brand?
Yeah, I do. And this is part of, Tina and I have invested, just so you know, thousands of dollars into stuff. And we don't expect others to do that yet. But, you do got to keep investing in your business and learning things. But as, I guess I'm saying trust some of the things that we say and use them. And one of the best things I found early on, we took Chalene Johnson's Marketing Impact Academy, but so she talks all about branding and identifying her final target client. But okay, so Tina, should I go into that real quickly? Do you think?
Sure.
All right. So Chalene Johnson, we paid $2,000 for this, and I'll give you this in 5 minutes. Would everybody like to say $2,000? So here's what she says. Chalene Johnson talks about branding, and she says, I'm taking people on a journey. And what I'm doing is I'm identifying who are my target clients. My target clients are not guys. My target clients are not, old people. My target client is not this. My target client is my avatar client. You hear that term Lindsay used. My avatar client is someone who is like me, someone who loves fitness, someone who loves shopping in girly things and sparkly things like Tina said, someone who likes to shop at this way, someone who likes nice things, someone who, I don't have to coax into doing fitness, you know what I mean, those kind of things. But she says, look, I take them on a journey, but my real fitness is what I do, but and I love that, but what I'm really trying to do is I'm trying to get my lifer client. And my lifer client is a businesswoman. My lifer client is a couple that is willing to come out and spend $20,000 on a weekend with me and my husband to learn about the business of social media and fitness and social media. This is what Chalene Johnson does on her page. She takes you through a journey. She says, here, grab my free tips, okay? Grab my free tips. Okay, I'm gonna get you warm and comfortable with me. You're gonna enter my email system. You're gonna get my free tips. You're gonna get my free videos. But then, so a lot of people are gonna jump in her car, right? This is the funnel. A lot of people are gonna jump in her car. She says, I'm taking them on a journey. Now I'm gonna start sending them emails, and you can think of emails, if you don't have an email system, as what your posts are gonna do for people, right? This is the jab, 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 right hook. So she's taking them on a journey. Then the next stop is she's going to sell them her cheapest product. Maybe it's a $39 product or a $59 product after she's built a relationship. So that's our first fitness program or our first challenge group. All right.
That was her push program, right?
Yeah, her push program, her 30 days of getting organized, those kind of things. Then she says, after and a bunch of free people are going to get out of my car, and that's okay. I don't want them in my car anymore. I'm pushing them into my product. Now the next stop on my journey of the ultimate end game is I'm going to put them into another $197 product. And a lot more people are going to get out of my car, and that's okay because I don't have room to carry everybody. And then after I sell them $197, I'm going to sell them $397. And then after $397, I'm going to sell them a $2,000 Marketing Impact Academy. Fewer and fewer people are going to be with me as I go. After they do the $2,000 Marketing Impact Academy, they've had success with that program. Now they're ready to come spend a weekend with me and spend $5,000, $10,000, $20,000. Those are my lifer client, because my actual lifer client is a woman who wants to make 6 figures or more in fitness. That is who she is targeting. She is not targeting the freebies. This is her funnel system. so she creates her brand, and she's talking to people, talking to what will ultimately be her end client, but she's filtering out all the people along the way. So your brand has to fit those people who will ultimately be your avatar coaches, as Lindsay said yesterday, right? You're going to get a lot of people who might, want your free stuff, and then you're filtering them out into the Shako challenge, 7-day Shako challenge, and then an actual challenge, and then actual coaches. Okay, and this is what they're taking you on now. The Marketing Impact Academy at $2,000 is actually more of, here's your email systems you need, your autoresponders. This is how you create emails and all products and all that stuff. But you can do this stuff, jab, 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 right hook, by telling the story on Facebook. But that's why we want to collect emails, collect names and people on lists, so you know who to reach out to, and you know how to tell the story along the way. And everything, she says, should be solving their problem of your target market, right? Solve your problem, your target market. So your brand, and then taking this back full circle to Jessica's question, because I just gave everybody a $2,000 tip at least, okay, is something that Lindsay Matway showed, and I think she learned this from Shalene, I believe, or somebody. She said, take a piece of paper and mark it down, right half of the page and the left half of the page, okay? On the right side of the page, on the left side of the page, write down what makes us all alike. We all are Beachbody coaches. We all have challenge packs. We all have Shakeology. We all have challenge, right? That's what everybody is selling the same thing. What differentiates you? On the right side of the page, write down who you are, what age group you are, what your demographic is, who your target is, what problem did Beachbody solve for you? What can you relate to with a success story? What is your story? Who do you want to then target as someone that probably relates to you? Now, if you're a teacher, teachers are an incredible group. You can relate to teachers who have a pattern in their life, who need to do certain things. You're great at actually teaching, and which is a great network marketing skill. But you have the pay issues, you have the time issues, the extra hours, you have the early mornings, you got the the stress of people, but you want to help people, you got the parent issues, all kinds of things that you can relate to, and you're solving problems for that group. And do you have a medical condition that you overcame, right? Josh Spencer right now going through Lyme disease. He's turned this into a niche product market of, I'm going to target people with Lyme and show them how nutrition helps that, right? All these things, for most people, what you see in Beachbody is busy moms. Our product is people want to lose weight, right? They want to do it conveniently, work out at home, and they're not fitness experts. So who's our actual highest demographic? Busy moms, right? Doesn't that work? They want to give their families healthy meals, all this kind of stuff. So if you're thinking about like you can go further into niche markets with the medical things and stuff like that, but your target market is busy moms. And if you're a Lindsay Cheatham, or Lindsay McGuire, maybe you have more of a influence on actual fitness type of people. But that's not me. You know what I'm saying? Who can you relate to? And what are the particular problems that Beachbody solved? That's how you brand. Does that make more sense?
Yeah. Let me add to this real quick, Joe, because I know we're short on time. So guys, listen to what Joe's telling you. It's a lot of gold here. Now, I was going to say something, Joe, when you were giving all that information at the beginning, but when you talked about putting the paper down and writing on the left and right, that is awesome. That's gold, guys, because what I like to do is I like to take some of the stuff that these guys are learning and they're trying to teach you guys, But I like to put it in a perspective of new people so you guys can see it in a different way. But the way that Joe just added to the end of that about the piece of paper, you guys need to do that. I haven't heard that before, Joe. That's good. That's a good way to do it. Also, think about what your avatar looks like. You know, go and find a picture of it if you need to. You know, pull it up on your laptop or print it out of a person, the way you want your avatar to look on top of what Joe told you to write down. And that's your person you're going after. And when you get up here and you get ready to start going after people or talking to people, you look at that avatar and you think about the things that you wrote down. And then in your mind, that's the person you're talking to when you post. And so you start to communicate. It's just like you're talking to a person in rare form or right in their face. That's the person you're talking to. But I think that's gold. You know, as far as all this other stuff Joe was talking about with the email marketing, that's a little more advanced for you guys. But just make sure you guys are doing exactly what he said with that paper. I think that's gold. If you're not a mom, don't go after moms. You can't relate to moms. I mean, I know you want to, and they're out there, but think about it. How can you relate to a mom if you're really not a mom? Yeah. So try to relate to people that's in your lane right now. And then as you start to grow and you change and maybe have a family, then you can start to change and go after those people. You know, you can't go after a Lindsay Cheatham type person who's, fitness, athletic, competitor, mom, things like that. You can't go after that person because you're not going to relate. So just
and now you guys kind of understand the reason why I point that out is, again, I'm a lifelong banker. How am I different than other Beachbody coaches? Is I've always wanted to be involved with finance and banking. I can't get that out of my system. That's why my posts are what they are. It's in my blood since I was a kid. I'm not going to stop talking about that. And we have an opportunity. And the way I connect that to Beachbody and women is I want to be a mentor on the business side. Nobody's coming to me for fitness and nutrition advice. Tina isn't coming to me for that. So it's mentoring, and that's what I want to provide to the team. So Tina, go ahead.
I wanted to show you guys specifically how Joe executes on what he just shared right there. So he does not have a Lindsay Cheatham high and tight butt. He's not trying to be that person. He's not trying to be a fitness person. But do you want to know how he executes on his strength? Please go to his wall of yesterday and look for the picture of Lindsay Cheatham and Jeff Cheatham, two obvious fitness pros that just are unbelievable human beings. Go to his wall and then see how he leverages their awesomeness and connects it to his awesomeness. Because he knows he has reached out to so many fitness competitors or gym people. Like, he has behind the scenes done work that makes that post huge. So it's the behind the scene work that Joe does to recruit people. And then when he leveraged that opportunity to brag on Lindsay and Jeff, he tied that into him. So he didn't just say, here's Lindsay and Jeff. He tied in how he directly said, I can't teach these people how to work on their butts, but my strength is helping, blah, blah, blah. So go see what he said there and how he used an opportunity to edify Lindsay, to build her business, to edify her husband, who is so supportive, and to connect the dots between them and him. That was so masterful.
Thank you. But this is what it's all about, gang, is the tips that Tina gave you about branding yourself. We're just expanding upon that right now, but solving people's problems, solving your target market's problems through posting and sharing stories of what Jesse talked about. We're bringing this all together, okay? And selling the whole, not the drill. All right? I hope that makes sense. Go ahead, put your comments in the team page, whatever questions, we'll answer them. Again, I'm doing so much work behind the scenes, and Tina and I are doing things differently. You guys have no idea how much work we're putting into this to help all of you. And ask any questions, because we've invested thousands upon thousands of dollars, and we're gonna make this grow and work and do something that's people can learn from. And thank you all very, very much. All right.
You guys.
Bye.